Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm here again with a new lecture about interview in guidance and counseling, and which is for BS semester 5, course code 515.3, and course title is Guidance and Counseling 1. I am from Rana Liaquat Government College of Home Economics, working as a lecturer, and my name is Naveeda Bano Mangi. First of all, we will introduce the topic that is related to the interview in counselor and counselee relationship. There are certain skills that the counselor needs to display to show his expertise and competence. These skills are very important as they show the mastery of the techniques by the counselor. When skills are used properly, it builds the confidence of clients and assures them that they are in the right place to receive solution to their problems. First of all, we will know about the guidance. Guidance is an assistance given to the individual in taking intelligent choices and adjustment. And about counseling, a contracted meeting between a client and a counselor at a specified date, time and place, with the sole focus to benefit the client. Now we will discuss about the interview. It's a face-to-face personal conference in which the required information is obtained directly from an individual. Parts of an interview: developing rapport and clarifying purpose. Next, data gathering. Number third is summarize. Types of interviews: an employment interview, a fact-finding interview, diagnostic interview, counseling interview, authoritarian and versus non-authoritarian. Next, directive versus non-directive interviews, structured versus unstructured interviews, and last one is group versus individual interviews. After knowing types of an interview, we are now come to the steps or preparation for the conducting an interview. It is useful to prepare before each round of interviews an interview box which contain a copy of the interview schedule, tapes, batteries, an accordion pocket folder for each interviewee, a pen, blank paper, graph paper, and appropriate calculator. Knowing that needed supplies are ready allow to focus attention on the interview. Now, next step is analyzing the results of the interviews. When possible and reasonable, it is useful to watch interview tapes with a colleague who is willing and able to engage in an in-depth discussion of what the tape seems to indicate about the interviewee's understanding. Advantages of an interview: it's a widely used technique in guidance because personal data can be more easily collected in much shorter time by using this technique. It is very flexible. It is useful in almost all situations and with all people having different backgrounds. And number third advantage is it serves a variety of purposes. It has a great therapeutic value. An interview establishes a face-to-face relationship between the interviewer and the interviewee. The direct relationship gives a great insight into the problem faced by the client. The interviewer gets about the client's knowledge, which has a great therapeutic importance. Interview is helpful in diagnosing a problem. It's very helpful in revealing the causes of problem faced by the client. Hence, some psychologists regard interview a very useful technique for diagnosis and remediation. The face-to-face contact gives very useful clues about the client's personality. The facial expressions, gestures, postures convey meaning and reveal feeling and attitudes indirectly. Interview is useful to the client also because it enables him to think about the problem. It is the most useful situation in which the client gets a better understanding of his self. his abilities, skills, interest, and also of the world of work, its opening and their requirements. Limitations. An interview is a subjective technique. It lacks objectivity in the collection of data about the client. The bias and the prejudices of the interviewer enter into his interpretation of the data collected through an interview. The personal bias makes the interview less reliable and valid. Number 3, the result of an interview are very difficult to interpret it. Number 4, the usefulness of an interview is limited. The success of an interview depends on the personal qualities of the interviewer, his preparation for the interview, and the way in which he interviews. If the interview monopolies talking or does not listen patiently to what the client says, the interview loses value. Stages of counseling interview. Number 1, beginning, opening, and rapport building. Explore client expectations, common anxieties and needs. Number 2, middle, emotional work time with counselor. Role of micro skills to help client tell their story. Determining client's feeling, importance of observing the client. Number 3rd and last is end closure process that allows clarification and summary, refers to stages of counseling process model. How to confront an interview. Start with reflective responding. Number 2, where possible, help client to confront themselves. Number 3rd, don't talk down. Number 4, use a minimum amount of muscles. Number 5, avoid threatening voice and body messages. Number 6, leave the ultimate responsibility with the clients. Number 7, don't overdo it. The counseling interview environment should be welcoming, comfortable, a place with few distraction like no telephone or interruptions from other staff or family members. Somewhere where privacy and confidentiality can be maintained. For example, somewhere away from other people. Non-threatening, a place where people can feel relaxed and comfortable. Confidentiality and privacy, the need for both auditory hearing and visual seeing. Confidentiality in order to promote trust. A lack of trust may decrease an individual's participation in the counseling process or may even threaten or scare them, creating an environment of trust and confidentiality. Summary. In this unit we discussed listening and interview skill. We said these two skills are very important in any counseling relationship, be it individual or group counseling. The ability of the counselor to listen carefully and attentively will enhance his interviewing skills. Factors that affect good listening skills were mentioned, and the process of developing good interviewing skills was also discussed. These two references are being selected to prepare this presentation. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. George Bernard Shaw.